I know a lot of people talk about nurses, rich nurse, what they have, and I talk about this a lot. I want you to know I don't have the Louis, and I don't have Gabbana, I don't have Gucci, I don't have a red bottom shoes. I'm just simple. So today I wanted to dress just like this because I am what you see. You see me on the street like this now. A lot of nurses may come out capping. Capping is real. They'll come out and be somebody that they're not. They have to have the BMW. They have to have the Mercedes. And the only reason why I know that because what they talk about. But this is not our conversation. I just wanted to bring that to you because I'm not trying to pretend. I don't want to fake it. I'm just here to be telling you the real deal, what nursing is all about. You don't have to pretend with me. We're all in this together. As they're just doing their work the right way, right? Did you just hear it from me? They don't want you to, the lights. Let's talk about the lights. The car lights. You know, the thing that goes on and on and on. They feels like when the car light, when I went to school, here's the thing. When I went to school, I was taught that it's not just my patient lights. I don't have to get up. I have to answer everyone lights. If I'm walking past a room and the lights is off and you might not, you just be hearing it. If you work night shift, you'll hear the ringtones. The lights goes off. It may blink. It may make noise. The patient may be calling. But if it's not your patient, that's what some nurses do. It's not my patient. It's not my patient. And so you get up and do it. I'm telling you, new nurse, you do the right thing. You get up and answer that light. But there's certain nurses that they get upset. And I hadn't experienced this for a long time. So I went to an assignment up north. The worst assignment. The worst state I've ever worked in. But you're not going to hear the state from me. Anyway, they were so protective. They get upset if you go in there and answer the light and it's not your patient. I'm like, what is wrong with these nurses? I've never met those kind of nurses. And in my years of practice, they get upset. I happened to answer a light. The light was going on and on and on. And it was just, I didn't want him to wake up my patient. I didn't see the nurse that has that room. And I didn't think anything. Usually I go in there, if the IV's going off, I may restart it a little until the nurse come back. I don't know, they might be at break. I may go in and ask, can I help you? If they needed narcotics, when it comes to narcotics, I usually tell the patient, I would prefer them to wait for their nurse, but if it's an emergency and I'm going to look it up to see when was the last time they had it. Now, if they said they had it an hour ago, I know that it's not available. I double check and I'll go back in and say, your nurse is at break and it's not due until you had it an hour ago and it's Q 6 hours or Q 4 hours, so it's not due until. Usually they have a board in the patient room, and what I like to do when it's my patient, but you better be careful about doing this because some patient may want you to stick to that time, and you might be doing something else. Like when I just give my narcotics, it's 9 o'clock. I put 9 o'clock here, and you don't get it again until maybe 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m. So I put 9 a.m. I gave it. You don't get it until 1 a.m. Now, it depends on the type of patient I'll do that for. Because at 1 a.m., if this person expect you to be there at 1 a.m. for that is in excruciating pain, they want you to be there on time. And if you're in the middle of an isolation room or you're in the middle of doing other things, even on the psych ward, you can get caught up, but they're able to come out and say, Miss, you said at 1 a.m. I'm supposed to get my meds. It's different. Psych doesn't have the board. Psych room is basically beer. But anyway, on a med surg floor, you may have a board, and I usually put it on there, the time based on the patient I'm dealing with. So I happened to go, I said to the patient, you don't get it till such and such a time when your nurse come back. So when the nurse came back, she got upset. I don't want you to go answer my patient lights. It's my patient. She came back and she saw me in the room, coming out the room. What are you doing in my patient room? It's the light. So I don't understand the logic. I don't understand why all of a sudden there's nurses I'm meeting now, not new nurse, old nurse. Another incident happened to me. So the call light, I work night shift I work night shift at this facility, and the patient light went off, and it wasn't my patient. So I went in there and said, can I help you? You have your call light. Usually they have the call bell. When the call bell go off, you can, from the desk, press the box and say, can I help you? I didn't do it because I wasn't near the desk. So I went in and asked the patient, can I help you? Is there anything? And she said, well, I'm in a lot of pain, and I would like to know if it's time for me to get my pain meds. So I went back and I checked the computers and see that the time that she get it, yes, she was due for her pain meds. So I went ahead and I gave it, Remember, I'm a travel nurse, so the patient got it at a certain time. Based on the computer, it says that the patient had it. And so I went and gave the patient the meds, checked them, double check whatever the right way, and gave her medication. Write it down. And when the nurse, he was a male nurse, Caucasian, came back, I said, I gave Mrs. Jones her pain meds and the time, and here's it. And he literally, you would have think I want to say he may not have said the words, but it was as if he wanted to curse me out because I gave his patient. Don't you dare go in there and do anything for my patient. My patient? I understand you got those patients. I don't want nobody in my room. I don't want nobody answering my call. I don't want nobody do anything for my patient. I was shocked. But then after I went home, I'm a little slow. You might be talking to me. I listen, but it takes me a while to sink in because I guess I analyze it. And so when I went home, I thought about it. And maybe he has, maybe those type of nurses that does that, they have issues. And the issues they have, that's what I'm saying, my opinion, in the past, maybe they deal with people that, or nurses that wasn't given the meds or what. I don't know what it is. But I cannot understand that, because what am I going to say? If I had said, okay, when you know, and I did. In the beginning, I usually say, oh, when your nurse come, she'll give it to you, or I'll wait. And the nurse, then the patient is in pain, and the pain and pain. And it's pain, what they say in nursing. You can't really assume that the patient doesn't have any pain. Because pain is not something that you can see. You can see the action on their face, the grimacing, and how they is. And she just came in from surgery, so I can imagine. But I didn't understand the reason behind the way the nurse was acting. He was just so rude, attacked me in front of, it just was so loud, night shift, and he was so loud about it. Don't you dare touch my patient. It's my patient, my patient. Okay? The other nurses said, I'm sorry, we should have warned you. Nobody goes into his patient. Nobody do anything for his patient. Anyway, so it flipped now. So he was on nights. I was working nights with him. So I went back to day shift, and I had to relieve him. And he didn't do most of his work. Bingo. So I came to the conclusion, you don't want nobody to go in your room when they working with you, because you don't want them to see that you're really not answering the light. You really just go in there and you sit right next to the box and say, can I help you? Boom, and shut it off, and you don't want to do nothing, so you don't want nobody to see. But if I'm coming on and I'm seeing that I hadn't had my pain meds all night, and as soon as I walk in, before I get report, the patient is asking for pain medication. I don't like that, but I don't say anything, because that means you can't get report. You're busy medicating the patient, and you still haven't gotten a report. And what some nurses will do is say, can you get this patient his pain meds? But you haven't given me a report. That's what I said. You still on the clock. You can give it and then give me report. Now, if after you give me report, then I'm responsible for the patient. I can take care of that. But what they'll try to do and rush out. So be very careful. Get all the report. Get your paperwork in order. And know the diagnosis and everything. Because sometime you will get less report. And I'm the type. And I'm telling you my weakness too. When I want to go home, I want to go home. So don't come at me. You know the patient. You had the patient for a whole week. You know the ins and out, the discharge date and everything. And then you want me to, when you come to me for report, you want a book. But when I come in, the same person, and asking for a report, they say, oh, same patient, you know the drill, and go. They don't want to give you no report. Watch out for those nurses, I'm sorry. Because you're going to be in a world of mess. New nurse, that they're so protective that it's their patient. You can't go in the room. You can't answer the light. Don't want you to do anything. Don't give my patient any Tylenol. And that's why I understand after that. That's why when my patient, I was at lunch, my patient was due meds. Well, the nurse is not here. When your nurse come back. They don't, in the middle of something, they'll let you wait. They let the patient wait until I'm finished. They don't do anything extra. Yeah, there's some nurses, they're not going to do anything extra. They're not going to get up. They're not going to help. They're not going to answer the call light. And back in those days when nursing was really nursing, we would get in trouble. It's all patient. All patient. Even if the director of nursing walks by, she should be able to answer that light. But we all know, even the doctors. But we know how that is. So I wanted to come out here and say, I don't understand why nurses are battling for simple stuff as that. I know it's your patient, but I feel like the patient, it's an emergency. She's ringing the bell. Somebody has to answer it. Everybody was sitting around because they know that this nurse get upset when you go answer light. Well, I'm going to take it one step further to tell you the truth. The reason why they don't want you going there, they understand that logic, but that's what I find working as a site nurse. And we need to stop that, because a lot of people don't, when you say you're a site nurse, they frown on it. They look down on you. Oh, you're a site nurse? You work with them? Who is them? Oh, I couldn't do it. Bless you. I am glad that I had nursing home background. I am appreciative that I had correction background. I have med-surg background, because in an emergency on the psych ward, I know what to do. But what I find that in psych, if you go straight into psych, you don't have any medical, you're going to be sinking. You're going to be sinking. And it's very important why they say do med-surg. But you can't do med-surg for long. Med-surg is not a career. Some people stay on it forever, but it can wear your body down. So I would encourage every new nurse who wants to go into psych to, even if they have come in with correction, I know there's some emergency in corrections. So you need to have that balance. Psych is a field that it's more about the mind, and the patients are usually walking, talking, and they can do everything for themselves unless you work on the Jerry psych, which I hardly get to work on, but because that, if I do, then my nursing home will kick in. But majority of the patient, I have been working with kids, teenager, and adults. And on the difference, but it's hard when you don't have that support. And when I'm talking about support, not only from administration, I'm talking about teamwork. If you see doctors, they stick together. We don't support each other, and that's what's breaking us apart. The team just don't says RN only. The team is LPN and CNAs and RN. Together we can do this. So I don't have a problem if the CNA is at lunch. And if a patient had an accident, then it's the nurse's job to step up. But sometimes we forget. We just stick in that role, and I'm glad I was an LP and I got that background, because it helps me to explore other. It humbles me, really. Yes, I wasn't a CNA, but I was an LPN in the nursing home. I'm glad for that experience and experience correction and traveling to meet the different nurses. It's really an eye opening. So I wanted to come out, because I was at this assignment and the nurses, they get upset if you go in the room and answer the light because it's their. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment, get me notice on YouTube. Have a wonderful day or night in your state or your country. Thank you.